Hello Battlefield Heroes fans, MeanSpeed here. Today I'm going to give my take on the Did You Know Gaming video series, of course using Battlefield Heroes as the game of choice. I'm doing this as a tribute video because, as you know, Battlefield Heroes is closing on the 14th of July this year, so I wanted to gather some information about different parts of the game for you all. Hopefully by the end of this video you'll know a few more things about Battlefield Heroes, and I hope you enjoy. Player goals and challenges in Battlefield Heroes were normally very interesting and unique, and this one is no exception. Devi, also known as the Peaceful Hero, was the first player to reach level 30 with 0 kills to his name. His gameplay normally consisted of running around holding TNT, using marked target and using emotes. He was a pretty well known and famous hero back in the day, and even got his thread about his hero's progress advertised onto the homepage on the 3rd of September 2012. However, not everything went to plan. During the last few stages of his journey to level 30, Devi actually got one accidental kill due to a bug that wasn't really known, but his words on the situation were that he spawned on Buccaneer Bay and the kill randomly popped up. He also claimed that he didn't use marked target, he wasn't near a vehicle, and he didn't use a parachute. The best theory to explain the bug is that someone on the enemy team suicided in a plane or killed themselves with one, and that's how the bug came about, because at the time Devi's profile said he had destroyed one plane. This explains it fairly well because a bug similar to that was common back then. This was later fixed by VitalBullet, the community manager at the time, who removed the kill from Devi's profile and claimed that he had no idea how the bug happened either. Needless to say, no more bugs happened after that, and Devi finally reached level 30 and became a part of player history. Now, let's talk pets. The Emperor Scorpion and Snapping Turtle pets were originally put into the game as a result of a poll, also known as the Wild Pet Spore Challenge. Battlefield Heroes teamed up with Spore and held the contest, with the winning pets being put into the real game. First, pet creations were made by many people using the Spore creature editor, and they all had to look like a realistic animal. Then the best creations were chosen on the Spore forums, narrowed down to 11 designs, and finally put onto the Battlefield Heroes forums, where the Battlefield Heroes community had to choose 2 winners. There were over 3,000 votes in total, and the Emperor Scorpion and Snapping Turtle won. The third most popular pet in the poll, that only just lost out, was the Squirrel, which ironically became a pet in Battlefield Heroes a few years after anyway, only in robot form. Close enough. Prestige ranks were always something extra to do after level 30, and proved to be a fairly well received progression system. But did you know that when Prestige ranks were first released, the game files contained 50 ranks or titles instead of the 13 that we have today? They were all very unique, and my personal favourite has to be Mr. Not So Nice Guy. According to Hate, the lead designer, they originally had 75 ranks planned, but narrowed them down to 50. In the end, 37 of those 50 were actually removed, and they decided to keep what they called the proper ranks for the initial release of the rank system, and were looking to possibly add some from the original 75 when they had time. Obviously this didn't happen, which is a shame considering the creativity that went into most of those ranks names was pretty good. The Battlefield Heroes demo from July 2008 had a lot of noticeable changes compared to the real game and even the closed beta. These changes were all client related, with its design looking slightly different to the old client which was available in the real game until the 21st of March 2012. The Valor Point, Battle Fund and Hero Point logos are also different, as well as a different layout given for abilities. However, perhaps one of the more interesting features the client in the demo had was the use of stat bars for each weapon, a feature which would arguably have been the solution to finding out if a weapon was a reskin or not. Surprisingly, these stat bars weren't kept, despite their usefulness, especially compared to the current weapon stats in the client, which only state the number of ammo a weapon has and a few other small details. If you look closely, you can also see that Bernie's Bone Chewer had a different name, the Broderick Boy. This name was kept until during closed beta, where players were confused as another weapon had a similar name, the Broderick Rifle, which is now known as Pipsqueak's Popper. The Broderick Boy became Bernie's Bone Chewer, and the Broderick Rifle became Pipsqueak's Popper because of the names of the weapons being too similar and causing some confusion among players at the time. Another client screen was made and shown in an old trailer for the game, which looked very similar to the one from the demo with some small changes such as the colour scheme, no logos for valor points and such, and a lack of a zoom button to get a better look at the hero's clothing. This specific client screen wasn't used in the closed beta or later on at all. It was simply used in a trailer to show that feature of the game very briefly before they updated it for closed beta. Now, I know some of you would consider yourselves lucky when getting an item for Unlimited in the Claw, but check this guy out. The player Master K was crowned as the first Battlefield Heroes millionaire. He made the 1 millionth purchase on an item and was rewarded 1 million battle funds for doing so, which converts to 6 million play for free funds. He had a Q&A about himself on the forums upon being known as the first millionaire, and the community became very jealous of him. And I can only imagine how much fun he had in the store, buying, well, pretty much everything. It's a shame that he didn't play more often though, because he missed out on a lot of content throughout the years where he was inactive, and I know for sure that he would have been able to afford all of that as well. Before they were officially released, the Rippin' Rocket and Force Turbojet Sets were given out in PC gaming magazines in the UK and Germany from July to November in 2009. With the first issue offering battle funds, and then each consecutive issue giving 2 items from the sets, meaning you had to make sure you got each monthly issue to get the complete sets. PC Gamer in the UK and PC Games in Germany offered the Royal set, and PC Zone in the UK and PC Action in Germany offered the National set. However, the promotion was cancelled in Germany after 2 issues for some reason, meaning you could only get battle funds and the boots and trousers of the sets if you lived in Germany. This promotion made the sets quite exclusive and rare until they were released into the real game for battle funds during April of 2010 when Midnight Mayhem and version 2 Vengeance, also known as Hero of the Hill, came out. Per Solang, a drummer from the Swedish heavy metal band Corroded, did the voices for the Savage Hero emotes known as the Ravager's Cry and Barbarian's Wrath. The original code name for the game was Battlefield West. This explains why information in the game files and coding in the game normally have the word West in them somewhere. There was even a song made for Battlefield West as a theme tune which didn't actually make it into the real game. Oh, I've been using it as the background music throughout this video, by the way. Well, that's all I have to say for now, but I will definitely be making more of these types of videos in the future, and I hope you guys stick around for them. I'd like to thank G-Dude and Nazman for providing me with some of the information in this video and for some of the images, and Hazardo for making the thumbnail. I'd also like to thank you all for watching, and hopefully you learned something new about Battlefield Heroes and found this video interesting in some way. See you next time, heroes.